way to start off with Tennessee, who we lost to last year. It's a big motivation. We weren't happy about our performance, and they're coming into our house, and what better way to get it started for the playoffs Saturday at 8:15 in Gillette. I mean, I hope it's going. I know it's going to be rocking, and I'm excited for our players to perform and in a way and play Patriot football on Saturday. I'm excited.
Well said by him. Nick, are you buying a revenge tour for the Patriots?
Well, I understand his point. It is certainly an opportunity. They didn't play Tennessee this year, but Brian, they played them last year and
Week 10.
Week 10, and Tennessee put it on them.
Yeah,
Didn't just beat them.
They blew them out.
Blew them out. And then they would then play Kansas City next. Kansas City went to Gillette this year and beat them. And then in the AFC Championship game, they'd probably play Baltimore. But if they weren't playing Baltimore, it would almost assuredly be because they're playing Houston, two other teams that beat them. So yes, it is a chance for a revenge tour. I do not think they're going to be able to complete that tour. I'm not quite as pessimistic as some that have them losing in the first round to Tennessee. But I would be shocked if they get past the second round in the Kansas City. But that is a very interesting quote for this reason. Kyle Van Noy's been with the Patriots for a little bit of time now. He knows the Patriot way and the Patriot mantra. And that is a very un-Patriot quote, talking about not just the game on Saturday, but the potential opponents thereafter, talking about the bigger picture, talking about the opportunity in front of us as far as what we could do this weekend and next weekend and the weekend after. That is nothing we ever hear from the Patriots when they are on message and fully operational. Kyle Van Noy, I think, is straying from that a bit because the team right now is in very unfamiliar territory because they never lose a game the way they lost on Sunday. They never go through a stretch where at the end of a season they lose as many as they win, losing 4 of 8. So Kyle Van Noy all of a sudden is reaching for things that you hear other teams that have less certainty, that have less confidence, like, well, it's the opportunity for us to avenge these losses we've had throughout the year. It was just a surprising quote. For 31 locker rooms, that wouldn't have been a surprising quote. For a veteran for the New England Patriots, that was a surprising quote to me.
I'm not as surprised as you because I'm watching this football team and I'm saying they need some type of motivation. They got beat by the Miami Dolphins at home last week, so they need some way to get themselves ready. And you remember Spygate, you remember Deflategate. Those are all motivational things that help that team propel itself to Super Bowls there. But this is what happened last year when they got beat 34-10 by the Titans in Week 10. The Titans ran the ball for 150 yards, rammed it right down the Patriots' throat. The New England Patriots offense was 20% on third down. They couldn't stay on the field. The Titans were able to be on the field for 33 minutes. That's the exact blueprint that the Titans want to use this year. They want to hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. They want to throw the ball down the field with Tannehill and be able to score points and stop this offense. And if they can do that, then that's the recipe to beat this New England Patriots team. And so I think the Patriots do need to find some motivation, and that's exactly what Kyle Van Noy was trying to do.
This is not an automatic win by any stretch for the Patriots. This is actually a pretty dangerous Titans team coming into the playoffs.
Oh, listen, I think it's a very dangerous Titans team, and it's a far better team than they were last year. Derrick Henry was right that week was when he was really turning into form, if you will. But this year, he has been the best running back in football. He had an opportunity to win the rushing title in Week 17, and he seized it with a dominant performance against backups, but still, it just continued his trend for the season, averaging nearly 100 yards per game. The Titans quarterback in last year's game was Marcus Mariota. Now, he played one of his better games of the season against the Patriots, but Ryan Tannehill this year led the NFL in passer rating, led the NFL in yards per attempt, completed over 70% of his passes. In his 12 games, if you extrapolate it to a full season, it would have been statistically, one of the most impressive quarterbacking seasons of this decade. Now, I don't think any of us fully believe in it, but the number, 9.5 yards per attempt, a 118 passer rating, those are all-time type of numbers, and the sample size isn't tiny. And the rookie receiver, another one of these rookie receivers that teams seem to find a way to be able to use, except for the Patriots, of course, A.J. Brown, he has been sensational for them, a young receiver who really looks like a star. So I do think this is a very live opponent. I do not think what a lot of people believe, which is this live opponent's going to go to Gillette and win. I don't think that the Titans are going to upset the Patriots. As down as I am on New England, I don't think they're going to lose back-to-back home games, including a playoff game to Ryan Tannehill, Mike Vrabel, and company. But they're not some 11-point favorites where you would just be shell-shocked if they lost. The most surprising loss that they could have had was last week. This loss would not be nearly as surprising, but I don't think it's going to happen.
One of the things I like about Tennessee, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots lost either, but one of the things I love is that they're not afraid. When you talk about Kansas City, when they played the Patriots, they weren't afraid. That mystique of the Patriots was gone. Obviously, the Baltimore Ravens, same type of thing. Usually when you play the Patriots in the past, you were down 7 points before they even kicked off the ball, because you were a little afraid. There's a lure about what's going on. You see number 12 across the field, and you're saying, you know, we're a little bit afraid. We have to worry about that football team. That whole thing is gone. Those whole things of the thought process of those guys are better than us, they're going to just outplay us, we can't make any mistakes, those things are gone. They made a bunch of mistakes last week against the Dolphins, and they were able to overcome those things, the Dolphins were, and win that football game. And so I'll tell you this, one of the things that I'm glad, if I'm the Patriots, is that we're playing in this first round. Of course, we want the bye, but I'm glad that we have an opportunity to avenge the loss from last week. I'm glad that we don't have to wait 2 weeks and then have to go find a way to win a football game. I think the Patriots team this year is the type of team that doesn't need the bye. They need to be able to continue to play so they can get the ball rolling. The years before, they've been able to play, and they were playing well at the end of the season. They needed to buy the bye just to get ready and get healthy. At this point, this football team needs to find a way to get better. That's why they need to play this game.
And there's this feel that the Tennessee doesn't really have anything to lose, and yet the Patriots have almost everything to lose, including all their history and tradition and this momentum that they've been riding, and all of it. It just feels like it's an easier game plan for Tennessee to go in with.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I feel like both these teams know, like, if we lose, our season's over. Now, Tennessee has already had a successful season. Is to your point. It's like if Tennessee's already had a successful season, for the Patriots, they have made the AFC Championship game, not the division round, the championship game every year since 2011. It is unfamiliar territory for them, even being in this position, having had a bye every year since 2010. One note for this game. The question that will, I think, determine this game is, what Patriot defense are we going to see? The one from the first half of the year that was historically great, or the one from the second half of the year that was very good but not great? Stephon Gilmore, with one game to go in the season, had my vote, which I don't actually have, but had my vote for Defensive Player of the Year. And then Devontae Parker roasted him. A.J. Brown is better than Devontae Parker, at least to my eye. I think he's a more dominant force than Devontae Parker. This Patriot team is 12-0 when they allow 17 or fewer points. They are 0-4 when they allow more than 17 points. Can the defense hold the Titans under 17 or less? Because I don't think the offense all of a sudden is going to put up 30. I think those days are long gone. The Bills game, where we thought they were great, scored 24 points. Like, that's the new standard of great for a Patriot offense. So how good can the defense be on a short week in, obviously, their biggest game of the season?
Let's take a break. Coming up, is LeBron James really the athlete of the decade? First, I'm Jenna Wolf. That is Nick Wright. Brian Westbrook joining us for this last day of 2019, which I just realized about 10 seconds before we went on the air.
Really?
Thank you for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Really? Surprising.
I mean, all the streets are blocked off.
Yes.
The single biggest New Year's Eve celebration in the world is taking place 100 yards from here.
Yep.
And I'm glad you're on the same page.
I just realized it. Happy just about New Year to all of you. So glad you're joining us.
And it's written right there.
And it's written in the teleprompter. Nick, I love you so much. We got a lot to pack in before we call it a year, so let's get started immediately with the latest on the fate of Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett. Garrett is still waiting to find out if he'll be back in Dallas next season. That after finishing the season a disappointing 8-8. He reportedly met with Jerry Jones yesterday. Now we're hearing he'll meet with him again today. Only one of two things seem to be on the table here for Jason Garrett. Either he's let go or he's not. Nick, why do you think he hasn't been fired quite yet?
Well, because I don't think he's technically going to be fired. He's not going to be back as the head coach. Initially, it was being reported his contract expired tomorrow on the 1st of the year. It since has been reported, I think, with more certainty, the contract actually expires on January 13th. And you have some duties, and Brian, you can speak to